Versus battles are always a bit tricky to do, simply because there's always a divide within the communities, whether it be biased scaling or just absurd comparisons. But how do you do a versus battle with the copycat characters? In this case, it would be Yuta from Jujutsu Kaisen and Kakashi from Naruto. The copycat character is well known in honestly all of fiction. The most difficult part about doing a versus battle with them is they don't really have movesets of their own, or they're basically useless without others, but not with these two. Now before we get into it, let's make one thing clear. This is solely a versus battle of copycats, so everything is going to be based on who's the better mimic. Now that that's out the way, let's take a deeper look at Kakashi. Kakashi is probably the most known copier in anime, and it's for good reason. From the very beginning of Naruto, Kakashi was known as a powerful ninja. One of their very first encounters, we are introduced to his famous nicknames Kakashi the Copy Ninja or Copycat Kakashi. The main reason for Kakashi's ability to copy jutsu is because of the Sharingan. With the Sharingan, it grants the user enhanced visual perception, which allows them to see an opponent's movements and chakra flow. And that ties back to why Kakashi can copy any jutsu. The Sharingan makes it simple to read and replicate. The only thing he can't do is replicate Kekkei Genkai or innate abilities like Wood Style. The first display of this is in the Land of Waves with his battle against Zabuza. He perfectly mirrored his hand signs at an incredible speed, making it arguably one of his most iconic moments. I mean, the characters in the show glaze Kakashi almost as bad as they glaze Gojo, with quotes talking about how he copied over 1,000 jutsu. Another time where Kakashi displayed his unique abilities is when he copied the Rasengan, which took prodigies like Minato and Jiraiya years to master. Kakashi was able to pull it off in minutes, just from pure demonstration. The only downside is because wind style is so hard to harness, it did damage his hand. But nonetheless, it was still impressive. Even with all these feats and jutsu, the thing that made Kakashi the most deadly wasn't his copy. It was his ability to strategize with the copy. An example of this is during the battle with Kakuzu. Kakashi was able to use all his genjutsu in response to the elemental attacks. With an arsenal of over 1,000 plus techniques and high IQ, he makes it difficult for any opponent. Even when outmatched, Kakashi's intelligence and tactical abilities have allowed him to win battles along with his copy ability. Now, although he used the copy frequently, as the story progressed, the battles became more about mastery over his own techniques. This evolution showed his growth as a shinobi and is backed by when he loses his Sharingan. The typical thought process is, when you lose an OP ability, you get weaker. But with Kakashi, he actually got stronger. Simply because he had better chakra reserves, it improved his overall versatility and allowed his tactical focus to increase. It made him go back to the basics and use all his strengths to still create that advantage. Mimic is a great ability, but we've seen in many characters like Toga who lacks the proper intelligence to fully utilize it. Kakashi is one of the few who have a copycat ability, but doesn't need anything to use it efficiently. Now that we got Kakashi out the way, let's get into Yuta and his copy technique. From his introduction, Yuta was known as a prodigy with unlimited potential. He was blessed with almost infinite curse energy, but his copy technique actually stems from his connection to Rika, the cursed spirit bound to him. Rika, who was his first love, bestowed upon Yuta the ability to copy and utilize the technique of other sorcerers. This, along with Yuta's talent as a sorcerer, allowed him to use techniques like cursed speech with ease. And if you're unfamiliar with cursed speech, let's just say it is extremely penalizing to the user. After Yuta's fight with Geto, he uncurses Rika and she's freed. But now, she has come back as a Shikigami that Yuta uses in tandem with his copy. One of the best things about Rika's Shikigami is that all she has to do to help copy a curse technique is consume a part of the curse technique user. We've seen this when Yuta takes out Kenjaku and consumes part of him to get his body swap technique. Yuta has even gone as far as copying reverse curse technique from the best and used it to heal others during the Sendai Colony arc. And what makes his technique more broken is the domain expansion, Authentic Mutual Love. During his domain, Yuta is able to pull from every curse technique he's ever copied and is filled with endless techniques. Plus, with his high curse energy reserve, he's able to use it for a long period of time. So if anyone's caught in this, they're probably cooked. Although Yuta's technique seems to be busted, there are still some disadvantages to it. For one, Yuta still has to learn the technique. As seen when he took over Gojo's body, he couldn't really use Infinity all that well because it was such a complicated ability. On top of that, Yuta can't copy innate abilities such as the Six Eyes, which allowed Gojo to use the Infinity so well. And he also can't use more than one curse technique at a time, which puts him in a position to get countered. So now that we got both of their individual feats, we can fully dissect who's the better copycat. Kakashi's copying was no doubt incredible. Being able to copy over 1,000 jutsu is no joke. On top of that, he can even mimic taijutsu movements, which enhances his combat tenfold. But Kakashi's best feat was not his copy, but his ability to use copy with his battle IQ. Knowing how to strategize is such an underrated asset of Kakashi's, and that's what separated him from the pack. He even got stronger after losing his copy ability because it made him focus more on his best skills. And he still created some pretty good jutsu like the Chidori or Lightning Blade. So the copy really wasn't necessary. Whereas Yuta, his entire being is copy. Aside from his immense curse energy reserve, he has nothing to rely on. The copy technique allows Yuta to be versatile and pull from different avenues to stump his enemy. And with his curse energy, he can replicate and possibly create in higher volumes than the original curse technique user. But the biggest deciding factor for the better copycat is who can utilize it better or who benefits more from it. Well, it's safe to say Yuta benefits way more than Kakashi, simply because Kakashi has more assets to fall back on, and his chakra reserve really wasn't fit for him to copy so many jutsu. They both did get their copy techniques from outside sources, but one of them still has the ability to use it after losing that source, and it was Yuta. So in this battle of the copycats, Yuta is the winner. But please keep in mind, this is just for who's the better copycat and not the stronger character. I know Kakashi scales way above Yuta, but it was still pretty fun to compare the two. Make sure you hit that sub button if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one.